Welcome, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls, to my haunted edition. Today's reading is going to cover your love phobia. So what is it that you're afraid of when it comes to love? We all have a fear, whether it's being abandoned or being rejected or being not enough, whether it's somebody else interfering, like a third party situation. We all have fears when it comes to love. So we're going to describe sort of what goes on with that. And this card is going to represent. So if you're drawn here today, there may be messages that are of great importance to you. And if nothing resonates, that's fine too. I have lots of other videos, so why not subscribe and check that out? And you can hit the bell and I'll let you know when I upload new videos. Today's video, we're focusing on that fear. What's your biggest fear in love? Where does it stem from? How does it affect you, love-wise? And ways to conquer this and what your life looks like after you've conquered it. So let's get into this with this card here. So the biggest fear that you may be experiencing right now, the temple of my body. Okay, so if you take a look at her, she's sort of, I feel like, being consumed a little bit by past things and darkness and the darker ways that she feels about herself, okay? Because she's not feeling very whole. She's sort of like half and half. She's in between good feelings and bad feelings, okay? So I feel like this is just a warning to try not to let that dark, don't let that dark take over, okay? Because it almost feels and seems like it's reaching her in ways that she can't battle, or she feels like she can't battle, okay? So treating your body like the temple it is, worshiping yourself, loving yourself, believing that you're gorgeous and beautiful and that you can attract exactly the type of lover or love that you want to attract to yourself. In this energy, she doesn't believe she can do that, okay? She's letting that dark consume her. She's letting it take her. She's cried many tears. She's almost getting hollow inside, like an old hollow tree. It's like a lot of things are plaguing her from the past that she can't quite let go of. So sometimes, we're not nice to our body. We might mistreat it. We might beat on ourselves. We might be too harsh on ourselves or hard on ourselves. We might project that, darker feelings about ourselves that we don't, want anybody to know, but we're projecting. It's really about treating your body good, because sometimes we give our body away when we didn't mean to. Sometimes, like I said, we put our body through hell. So your biggest fear is definitely feeling like you're not enough or not going to be enough. So let's see, where does this fear stem from? Let's get some cards out and see, where does this fear stem from? We're going to use the Wisdom of the House of the Night Oracle cards for this. Let's see. I'm going to give these a good shuffle. These cards are beautiful, but they tend to stick together a lot. So let me get a real good shuffle on them for you. All right. So look, we've got belonging. You see what I mean? I'm shuffling, guys. You see this? Spirit is listening here right now. Belonging. I feel like you're so afraid that you'll never find that sense of belonging with somebody. But I feel like part of the problem is you might not feel like you belong with yourself. You might not feel content within your own self, satisfied or happy. Like we've got that half and half, okay? So if you learn how to balance that better, that's sort of like getting into mastery energy. So if you can balance the dark and the light and really understand that you need to accept yourself first, all your flaws, the way that you are, beautiful the way you are, you can overcome that fear of never being able to belong. I feel like there's a big longing for you to want to have it all, like, have what you see everybody else has, like the happy house with the kids and the beautiful life. So I feel like you're afraid you're never going to have that. All right, so let's get something else. That's a big fear of belonging. You might have felt like all your life you never belong. And, sometimes more empathic people feel that way, like empaths feel that way. Look at this. We've got beauty. Yeah, this is about you not thinking you're beautiful enough, or have been passed by maybe once at least. We all have that. Passed by once for somebody that, maybe in someone else's eyes was hotter than us. But you know what? That's not true. That's one person's point of view, or however, you see yourself too. Because if you look at yourself and nurture yourself well, you can continue to bloom. But if you don't do that, you dry up and you sort of wilt. So I feel like address where that lack of confidence comes from, or that lack of confidence in your own beauty and yourself comes from, because I feel like this is inside of you wanting to come out. It's about inner beauty too. So let's see what else. So I feel like you won't feel like you're beautiful enough for somebody, or that your beauty will fade. That's another aspect of this. My beauty will fade and I will turn into something that, I don't want to be. All right, so let's see what else. Where else, is there a fear here? Let's see what we're getting. Ooh, so I feel like also you're afraid you won't be fulfilled. You feel like you won't be fulfilling enough for somebody, and you also feel like you won't be fulfilled either. I feel like you're in an energy where you're a little bit pessimistic, like the glass is half empty, not half full. So I feel like you can be enough for somebody, but you have to fulfill yourself, okay? So I'm getting, you need to fill up this, what's taking over here. What's taking over here is sort of like a darkness that it's created by ourselves. It's created by yourself. So I feel like in order to fill your own cup, you have to fill your own cup in life. Does that make sense? You have to fill your own happiness in life. So you have to really tackle what makes you happy. And I don't care what that is, do it. Be for what makes you happy. Yeah, that's another big fear. I won't be able to fulfill my partner's aspirations and dreams of what a perfect person is. I won't be able to fill my partner's ideal of the perfect attraction, or their needs being met, or my needs might not be met. I feel like you're also have in the past been a very bleeding heart for others that did not give you that fulfillment back. But the fulfillment has to come from you and only you. Right? Nobody can give that to you. You have to give it to yourself. Yeah, and we've got this fragmented energy. I feel like in the past you've left pieces of yourself. You kind of have to go back and gather them. Like each bad relationship, I feel like you've left a little piece of yourself here, a little piece of yourself there. People in the past that have hurt you, they've taken little pieces. But in a weird way, it's like you allowed it because you didn't know any better. But I feel like you're just supposed to go back and sort of take those pieces back. Don't let anybody have pieces of you. You take those pieces back. That means also you have to forgive a lot of the shit that happened in the past. And don't forgive because you feel like it's going to be a magic wand, or don't forgive because, you're being told do it on your own terms, because if you don't do it on your own terms, it's all for naught. So I feel like when you come into a better energy and you start to get a little more positive about things, retrace your steps of the past, sort of go back in the past and reclaim yourself is what I'm getting. Okay. I'm also getting like a reinvent yourself, because you can do that at different times and stages in your life. Okay. So that's sort of, what the fears are about. Let's tackle a little bit of where do these fears come from? Where do they stem from in your life? Like the root of them. Oh, so you've dealt with some rather toxic people in the past is what I'm getting. And I feel like these people, these toxic voices and these negative sort of overlays on you have made you feel like nobody's positive and nobody can come near you and nobody will be good for you and you won't be good for anybody either. I just feel like you're believing the lies that other people told you, and you sort of project those out. Like if somebody told you, well, you're not good enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're this or you're that, and called you names or put you down in any way, that's negative programming. So you may have some of these toxic connections still around you, and what I'm getting from Spirit is get rid of them, and please try to utilize like your senses more and your intuition about red flags with people. Okay, so that could be part of it. See, that's where it stems from. People have poisoned you, poisoned your head. And let's see what else. Disrepair. So you feel like some of this shit is not fixable. You might feel like you're too afraid to do it, or you might be a little lazy to do it, or you might be like it's too far gone to do it. But I'm getting you, you can be fixed, you can repair yourself. And it has to start with that love of self. And no matter what you do, you always have to know that you come first. Did you ever hear the expression, you got to put your oxygen mask on before you can put yours on before you can put your another passenger's on? If you're in a emergency situation, you got to take care of yourself first. So that's what I'm getting from Spirit analogy, because you can do this, but you have to give yourself that oxygen first. You have to give yourself that care. You have the tools to do this. You just feel like you don't. I feel like you're almost allowing this dark to take you over. So that, let's see what else. We've got some abandonment. All right, so in the past, you've been abandoned. You've been left to the elements. You've been made to feel like you weren't worth returning to, okay? So somebody may have left you or ghosted you or took off on you. It could have been a parent. It could have been a lover, an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be friends even. It could be anybody that you were significantly connected to in your mind that just sort of up and left. So these are the root causes. These are the stems from which these fears were born. And let's see now, because it's very important, how this affects you, how we're going to tackle this, how we're going to get to the bottom of this. So let's see, how does it affect you? How does it affect you? Let's see here. Let's go with this deck again. I really like this deck here, this House of the Knight. So let's see, how does it affect you love-wise? Let's go over here. So love-wise, it affects you, conclusion. Love-wise, I feel like you think the book is done and closed. You're never going to love again. That's what I get right away from Spirit. You feel like you went through enough, you've seen enough, you've heard enough, you've been through it all, and you're at the end here. You're like, that's the end. It could also be that you just concluded with somebody. It could be that you just ended a relationship or terminated a relationship or even a friendship. It could even be that. But to me, I feel like you're like, this is it. This is the end for me. I ain't falling in love again. Nobody's coming. That is completely untrue because you're responsible to rewrite that ending. You have to write it with whatever you want in there. Imagine it really is your story. Imagine it is, you can really write that and it can become like your own movie or your own series. What are you writing the next chapter about? Who's coming? Who do you want? What do you want them to look like? What do you want them to be like? Do it. I feel like journal. Do some journaling. I say that a lot, but it really does help. Yeah, write your own new ending. You're the author. It's your biography. How else does it affect you? Again, look, with the love, you can't love yourself because you're caught up on the past and the past people that have hurt you. And again, you've believed the shit that they've told you. So I feel like there is like a little hole here, but you can fill it. And I'm also getting that you feel like love is never going to come again. And I also feel like you want your heart back. I don't know, who do you feel stole your heart? Who do you feel you're like, well, they have it. I can't get it. Yes, you can. You can get it back. It only looks that way. It only feels that way. It only seems that way. Your heart is right in your chest, beating blood every day into your beautiful body, trying to encourage you to heal. So you're wrong about thinking like love is never going to come again, because it is, but you have to heal some things. You have to do the work. Okay? It will come again. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, look at this. In confidence. It affects your confidence. You think you can't be the best or the brightest or the prettiest. You feel like you're just like this sludge that nobody looks at. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. You feel like you're like this sludgy, like blah person that nobody cares about. That's not true. I feel like you have many gifts. You're very kind. You're very sweet. You're very friendly. You're very sort of jovial. Like you would help anybody. You would help anybody that needed you. So you have to look at your strengths and what is really, really good about you. And if you don't know what that is, then I suggest you take a piece of paper and write it out. Or ask people that love you, what's my best quality? What do you think is the best thing about me? And I bet you those people will tell you, because they're going to remember something wonderful that you did for them or a time that you were there for them. And this, to me, says empath all over it. I feel like you're definitely an empathic, connected, sensitive person. And I do feel like your connection with animals is phenomenal. And if you're not working with animals, I feel like that's been a dream of yours or something that you've always wanted to do, or that animals help you ground and animals help you clear your energy. So just remember, you have beautiful gifts. All right, so that's how it affects you. Now let's see ways to conquer this. How can we conquer all of this? Let's see here. Some ways, some advice that, how can we conquer all of this? Look at this. You deserve happiness. You have to find your way back to happiness. Only you can do that. A person is not going to do that. Like, in other words, a man, a woman, a lover, sex is not going to do that. Drugs is not going to do that. Alcohol is not going to do that. Food, candy, you can't fill it up. You have to find a true point of it, like where it comes, where it meets you sort of halfway. Is it that, I'm just going to throw some shit out there. A fashion designer, is that what you always wanted to do? Is it that you wanted to be a dancer, a singer? Find your way is what I'm saying. I feel like this is creative force. I feel like creatively you're not doing what you want. That's maybe part of what's happening with you. You have a lot of creative energy that's flowing out of you, and I feel like at some point you couldn't use it. You have to go from this to this, and the steps that you need to take to get there. Let's see. Let's get some more cards. Look at this. Didn't I just say animals? I swear to God, I can't believe it. Spirit is listening. Please believe me that Spirit is listening, and all these messages are super important. Your connection with animals is unbelievable. I feel like this is something that's bringing you maybe out of your darkness, or that can bring you out of your darkness, is be connected to animals in any way, shape, or form. Go volunteer at an animal shelter if you have to. Get another pet, adopt another animal if you can, or if you're able to. Get out in nature, look at the birds, connect with the trees, the earth, you know, the bumblebees, the butterflies, everything. That to me is going to pull you out of this funk a little bit. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, and examining your life purpose. So I don't know, again, I'm going to throw it out there. Animals might be the life purpose. It might be something that you do, that you love, that you answer your calling once and for all. But I feel like you're also struggling with this, and that might be causing a little bit of that depression, and that sense that, you know, you feel like you're never going to find love and you're never going to find true happiness. So what I'm getting from Spirit is, no, you're deeply rooted. This, you got to pull the roots out of this depression. Go to the very base of it. If it's over a person, let them go. Because I guarantee you they're not sweating over you the way you're sweating over them. And you owe it to yourself to reopen yourself. You're being begged by Spirit is like begging you, please come back to the light, because we need you. You are beneficial. You have gifts. You are a healer. You have gifts with animals. Yes, you see that? Your well-being is at stake. Your well-being is at stake. Doing these things will help up your well-being, like laying down in the grass and looking at the sky, feeling the breeze, you know, sitting by a bonfire, getting by the water, taking a hike in nature. All these things I feel like are going to help you come back, you know, into your true power and understanding, and help you conquer these fears. And stuff around the home, okay? I don't know, home improvements, making things more cheerful around the home, maybe getting out more because maybe you're homebound a lot. It could be that might be a part of it, getting out more, getting into nature more. Like I said, I know I keep repeating that, but I feel like that is so prevalent here. It's in every card. So let's get some added advice here. And we'll use my Wise Witch's Oracle for that. All right. A couple more cards to tie up this reading. Let's see what we've got here. Look, we've got aura. Shield and protect your aura. Yeah, I do feel like negative energy gets to you. It gets to you so much that you haven't cleared any of it from the past, or recent people, or people that are around you that might be toxic, like when we got those few cards in the beginning. So yeah, shielding your aura, asking for white light protection. Power. Believe in your own power to change things. Yeah, when you're in this dark energy, you feel like nothing's ever going to change. Nothing's ever going to be right. You're meant to be like this. That's absolutely a lie. You have the power to start to make the positive changes that you want to see. Write them down. Write them down. Make some goals and watch how much you put some effort in. You'll manifest these goals over yourself. Yep. Prepare. Anticipate your next move. I'm gonna go from the bottom. Messages. Pay attention to any signs. So yeah, your guides might be trying to contact you. I don't know if you have any connection with birds, or birds in your yard, or seeing birds, but I feel like birds might be a strength for you, or animal totem, or spirit animal, or something like that. And then we've also got energy. Use the sudden energy shift to your advantage. We are going through energy shifts right now, and we have retrogrades coming up. So I feel like now's the time to take your power back. She's holding that lightning bolt. She's taking her power back. You need to take it back. You can bathe yourself in the light. The light is calling you. The light needs you. This was a test for you to sort of like learn how to balance that dark and light. You can't stay in that dark. All right, and we're going to get a couple more cards, and then we're going to sort of finish up this reading here, okay? So in the meantime, you know that you're struggling with these things. Let's see, what can you do for yourself, or advice. Let's see. Hold on. It's time for healing, not war. Wow. That is incredible. I definitely see that you might be in that mode, like a little bit angry at the world, a little bit vindictive, a little bit sad, a little bit like you want vengeance. So you're being told by Spirit, it's not time for war. It's not time to fight anymore. You might have just come out of a really bad relationship, like I said, something really bad with somebody that you feel like the war is still going on. I feel like you feel like a battle-worn soldier with PTSD. I feel like you really got to see it's done. It's over. It's okay. It's okay to be this way and sad and upset about it. But you know what? It's time to like pick up the pieces and go home. Let's see. Look at that. I'm going to leave you on that card. You need to go back to your throne. Your potential is endless. You have good support around you too, okay? But you have to believe that you are a powerful being. You have to believe it. You are divine feminine. If you're divine feminine seeing this, divine masculine, I don't care. Whoever's seeing this, you must know that you have ultimate power over everything. Everything. You can manifest any change you want. You can't get stuck in that energy that holds back. Don't let it win. Don't let it win. You know how we're looking at this card? It's time for healing, not war. You know, I feel like you got to go forward and know that the past was the past and it was full of lessons, and now is just the time to sort of accept them and heal. I hope that this reading was helpful, my super duper lovely gorgeous souls. And I hope that you'll subscribe so you can join me seeing more of readings like this, especially in this haunted season, and more readings on a weekly basis. Hit the bell. Check the description box for my private reading information if you're interested. And love and light to you all. Share this video if you feel like it would help somebody. Thanks again for joining me.